What is up, Auburn family? Welcome back to the Up Tempo podcast. I'm your boy Dustin Smith, joined as always by my guy Blake Lane. Another hot day here in the South. It is no denying it is summer, Blake. How you holding up, bud?
Ooh, buddy, tough day at work today.
Yes,
Drenched in
sir.
sweat like always. The heat is about unbearable, man. But we're getting through it. Some fun, exciting news got released today. The home and away of the 2023-2024 Auburn Tigers basketball SEC slate. And we see a lot of the teams that we're used to, man, and there's going to be some exciting matchups. We know we look at that Ole Miss home and away. That's going to be a fun one. I mean, that's going to be electric on both sides there. And there's just so much stuff to look at here, and how Auburn can place themselves as a high quality seed in the NCAA tournament, and also maybe have a little run this year in the SEC tournament, Dustin.
That'd be a change. That would be a change. Yeah, man. It's just looking at it, it's pretty interesting because the conference is just deeper now. I mean,
Yeah.
3 or 4 years ago, I'd have looked at Mizzou and said, this ain't nothing. But all of a sudden, a trip to Mizzou looks pretty daunting. What is Georgia going to be? Second year under Mike White. How
Mhm.
much will they've improved? What is LSU going to be? I mean, last year was a nightmare for them. It's understandable. Will Wade getting fired, they had to bring over 7, 8 guys from Murray State, and it just didn't hold up once conference play started. Tough trip to Arkansas, but Arkansas came to us last year and we didn't go there. So that's how that works. That's fair. Tough trip to Tennessee. Tennessee not coming to us, but
Mhm.
overall, man, I like it. You got Kentucky coming. You don't have to go there. And the one that I've got circled is Florida. Haven't
Mhm.
won there since 1996. Beat them in 96, 73 to 70. Haven't won in Gainesville since. And just think back to those recent matchups, dude. We've just let them slip away. There's so many of them that we just let slip away. Turnovers, missed free throws, you name it, brother. You name it. So that would be one that to me, I would really be nice to get that one, dude.
Yeah, you remember what happened the last time we were down there, right?
Yes, I remember. That
Well,
last play, that was something.
I mean, we didn't even get a shot off. Like, we
Out of
didn't
a
even,
timeout.
yeah, out of a timeout with Jabari Smith on the court for the Auburn Tigers, and you
Walker
don't get a
Kessler.
shot off.
Yeah, bro.
He's no longer here, though. All right, he's no longer here. Not downing or anything, but we're with a new whip,
Mm.
I guess you could say. And apparently Katie Johnson thinks it's a very nice whip because he put on Twitter today that boy's nice, Dustin.
Yeah, I agree with him. I think he is nice, and they're seeing it firsthand, man. This is going to be, and so before we get into this, I think the thing that because there's some tough games on here, and that's just the nature of the beast right now in
Mhm.
the SEC. There's a lot of interesting teams in this conference with second year coaches. I'm interested to see what Ole Miss is going to be, obviously, and it's so fun to see. It's so fun to see that all of a sudden we're circling Ole Miss in football. We're circling Ole Miss in basketball.
Yep.
It's just these sometimes these things can change, and this is just fun because I never paid attention to Ole Miss, bro. You never
Mhm.
paid attention to Ole Miss, whatever. And now all of a sudden it's like I want to send a message there and let them know what's up. The whole West Flanagan thing going over there, Al's gonna
Mhm.
look so weird, bro. Like you played for 4 years for us, and you're gonna suit up in a fifth COVID year in that ugly ass uniform.
I,
It's gonna be weird.
Dustin, how do you feel about everybody as an Auburn fan, or on social media or whatever? Obviously Flan was with us, right? Dad leaves, he follows to Ole Miss. We wish him well and everything, but how do you feel about like some of the fans just like rocking with Flan and
Hmm.
other Auburn athletes that transfer from Auburn and then you go to an SEC West rival? Bro, I'll tell you, it's weird to me. Like, I don't get down with it. I wish you well, but that's it. Like, when Flan plays us, but I hope he's 0 for 18 from
Mhm.
the field, and I hope he don't even make a damn free throw, to be honest with you.
Yep.
That's how
Yeah,
I rock.
yeah, you know what it is, bro. Me and you text about it. It's because it's like you said, it's weird, and I'm with the Auburn Tigers.
Yeah.
And it's not even a transfer portal thing. I'm gonna rock with the people that picked us in the portal.
Yep.
Like you're suiting up for Auburn, man, and the SEC West rival. That's the point to make. It's like, dude,
Yep.
you're not going to Texas Tech or even in the case of Bo Nix, Oregon, you're going to Ole Miss, man, a team that I just mentioned, a school that I just it's popping up with. The football situation, we just spoke on that the other day, and it doesn't have to be so everyone knows what it is, right? It's every Auburn's fans game this year. It's the one that everybody wants. Like you said, nobody wants to see Lane walk across that 50 and shake Q's hand with that smirk on his face and then shoot off that smart-ass tweet that he'll shoot off. No one wants to deal with that. Nobody wants to see Wes Flanagan walking through that line shaking Bruce's hand like, nobody wants to see Al Martin. It's just ain't got time for it, bro. Ain't got time for it. So yeah, and like you said, I wish you well. I hope it all goes well for you. I'm pro portal. I'm pro you having the choice, but that doesn't mean that I'm gonna sit here and just like it's almost like they're trying to prove some kind of. It's almost like it's virtue signaling, right? Where it's like you're trying to give off this vibe of. Well, even when you leave, I'll rock with you. And if you were once an Auburn Tiger and always an Auburn Tiger and all this, listen, bro. Again, and it's sports. It's sports. So in life, I wish everybody that hasn't wronged me well. Unless you've personally screwed me over, I wish you well, bro. Nothing but positive vibes.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to receive them back. But on the field or on the diamond, and I'll tell you a story. So, like, I went to high school with Trent Richardson. He went 1 year above me. And we graduated. So he was class of 09. I was class of 2010. And our track season, we ran track together. Our track season was when Trent was getting like the heat of his recruitment. And Les Miles came one day, and Urban Meyer came one day, and Nick came one day, and they were all doing, talking to him, pitching. It was right there. This was when February 2nd was the big, was the big signing. This is before early signing day and all that, And so they're all coming, they're making their pitch and everything. And I would joke with Trent. Me, Auburn Tiger. We had just fired Tuberville about like going to be Chiswick's first year. We were in a transition period, so Auburn was never considered. And I said, bro, I hope you go up there and I hope you ball out. I hope you represent the high school well. I hope you represent the city well. And I hope when you play Auburn that we bust that ass and you fumble the ball 3 times and you're my boy.
Yeah.
But I hope you get busted up when you play my team, dude. Bree Ellis, wish you well at Arkansas. But when you play Auburn, hope you don't touch the bat. Hope you don't touch a base. Hope you don't touch a base. And you don't have to talk all that trash on your way out either. But I'll leave that one alone. So I'm with you on that. I don't get it. You know what I mean? They're leaving us. They're gone. And it's just sports. The players on the teams are still going to be friends with each other and all that kind of stuff, man. I'm not. So to the dumbass that's going to get in the comments or hop on Twitter and say, you're a 20-year-old kid. He has a choice.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I'm pro him making that choice. I had to make a choice in high school to change schools because situations weren't what they needed to be for me to have an opportunity to do things. I'm all for it. But as a fan base, I'm not going to, like you said, I'm not going to sit here and throw goat you, dude. You're dipping on my team. So the fan in me ain't rocking with you.
Exactly.
That's all that is. It's nothing personal, man. It's nothing personal.
That's how I feel, and I see it on social media and I'm like, they left Auburn. Like, I'm not about to sit here and if Ole Miss is playing Georgia, I'm not about to sit here and come on, Flan. Nah, hey, I hope Georgia waxes that ass is what I hope. All right. Just point blank period. I'm sorry. Some people might disagree, but if I hate it for you, that's just how I am. Like, you left us. Like, I'll be honest with you, this year, I hope Oregon, I hope they lose week 2 to Texas Tech. I hope they get their ass kicked.
And to that point, you were one of Flan's biggest fans.
Yes.
You love Flan.
Yes. I'm sure he's a great kid. I'm sure he is phenomenal in the classroom. He's a great person, but you left Auburn, so I can't rock with you no more. Like, bro, that's just how it is. I'm Auburn just like you, Dustin.
Right.
And I ain't about to sit here on social media, like you said, and throat goat somebody and rock with it. I just can't do it. But I had to ask you that
Yeah,
before we got any.
you know
Yeah,
what it is,
you know,
man.
yeah.
Stay true to the orange and blue, baby.
Exactly, bro. Justin Ferguson, Dustin, he tweeted out. Want to give him his props on this tweet because I really liked it. He really broke it down, and I know we've got it right here, away and home and everything, but he broke it down right here, and he says the permanent home and home is Alabama, Georgia, and Ole Miss, right? And then you have the rotation home and home, which is Mississippi State and Vanderbilt. And then you have only at home Kentucky, LSU, South Carolina, Texas A&M, and then only on the road is Arkansas, Florida, Missouri, and Tennessee. Dustin, how do you feel about that only on the road stretch with Arkansas, Florida, Missouri, and Tennessee?
That's tough.
Yeah,
That is a tough one. That's going to be a tough draw. And then you're also
Mhm.
playing just worthy of mention non-conference. You play Indiana in Atlanta, and you can sit there and say, "Oh, well, that's a home game." Well, we thought that last year versus Memphis in Atlanta, and it didn't work out that way.
Mhm.
You play Baylor in South Dakota for some reason.
Yeah,
I'm not sure what's going on with that one,
yeah.
but whatever. I'm
Yeah,
sure there's a reason.
can we take? I mean, yeah, let's just get on a plane and go to South Dakota. You know,
Play a basketball game.
weird
Well,
location.
definitely. And then you got the tournament, November 16th through 17th, the Legends Classic with Oklahoma State, Notre Dame, and I don't know much about Saint Bonaventure. Yeah, and I'm
Hmm.
pretty sure I booby whitlowed that one. But
Mhm.
so there's some tough there's some tough out of conference ones, dude. There's some tough
Mhm.
out of conference games away from Neville as well. So and then you have like this stretch right here, man, Mizzou. Well, that's a tough one. The only thing I can really say is I'm glad that you get Texas A&M just at home
Mhm.
because boy, does Buzz have Bruce's number for whatever reason that is. So at least you don't have to go to A&M. But
Mhm.
those away games are a tough stretch, man. And then you know that you're gonna go to Bama every year, and I hate it, but that's a good basketball program right now. And is their arena stupid and ugly and goofy looking? Are they gonna have half of it full and be wearing hard hats and whatever they got going on over there? Yeah, for sure. And it's cool too because Auburn's getting all these re-innovations and all this stuff.
Mhm.
And it just seems like every time I see Bama says, okay, we're going to redo the hangar now. This is when it's going to get redone. And then in 3 months, I see Alabama Board of Trustees has denied re-innovations.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah, okay, for sure. Because if we're really going to get into it, I don't think the people at Alabama that should care about basketball care about basketball. And I'm not even necessarily talking about the fan base. I think their fan base is fair weather with basketball,
Yes.
but I think if they're winning, they will show up. Um, but the people in charge, what are you doing letting Alabama play in that arena? That's a joke, dog. That is a joke. That arena is a joke. It's not SEC caliber. It's ancient. It's old. And then for Nate to sit there and make that tiny arena comment, it's like, bro, yours is literally falling apart, bro. Yours is. That's why you got hard hats because the ceiling might fall on somebody's head.
Well,
I might need a hard hat when I go in there.
they only care about football. We know that, you know. I
Yeah,
mean, that's been their, you know. I mean, they're the king of college football. Let's not get it twisted. So I understand why they do care about football so much. And you know, like you said, when they're winning, they're on the basketball train. That's cool. It's a tough place to play. It's a tough place to play. I get it.
yeah, they
But
got us. They got us last year.
the only on the road, going back to that with Arkansas, Florida, Missouri, and Tennessee, man, you had the heartbreaker at Tennessee last year.
Mm.
Would love to see the revenge there.
Yeah,
The
ran out of
last,
bodies.
yeah,
Ran out of bodies, Blake.
and the no foul call on Win
Oh my
right there at the
god.
end. That
Oh
that's
boy.
a flashback right there.
Oh boy.
The last time we were at Florida, that was a disaster, like we talked about earlier. And then the last time at Arkansas, old buddy hung his stuff on Wynn's
Yeah.
head. And then they had the light show. Musselman ended up without his shirt. He was in a sling, and they were partying, throwing water everywhere. And they had just beat the number one ranked Auburn Tigers, who I believe were without Alan Flanagan that night.
Mhm.
So you know, I would like a little revenge there at Arkansas. We know what kind of atmosphere that is. I mean, they have one of the top atmospheres right there in Fayetteville. And Mizzou is always a tricky place to play, man. I feel like every time Auburn goes out there, it just gets weird. We remember the first ever number one overall ranking for the Auburn Tigers, Jabari and them. They go out to Mizzou, and we were down late. We make enough plays. If I'm not mistaken, it was KD who
It was
got hot.
KD. I think he had
KD
like
got
13 of the last 14 and came. I know he hit the
yeah.
last couple and saved the day. Yeah.
Yeah, he saved the day, and we squeaked out a win there. That's a tough slate, man. But I kind of look at the rotation home and home with Mississippi State and Vanderbilt. So this isn't set every year like Alabama, Georgia, and Ole Miss is. But you look at Mississippi State, they improved. They made a play-in game last year. They were one of the worst three-point shooting teams in the country. I feel like you could win both of these games at home and on the road. I know you had a tough time at the hump last year. You did come away with a victory late, and then you lost to Vanderbilt last year. So I just don't know what Vanderbilt's going to be this year. I don't think, even with Stack there, I don't think they're a serious basketball program. I think their bread and butter is solely baseball and academics, bro. Like that's it. I don't think they're going to take basketball very seriously. So I do think that is 4 games that you really need to go in and get those 4. All right. Both Mississippi State, both Vandy. That is how I feel. How do you feel about that, Dustin?
Yeah, I agree with you, man. I do, because it's important to remember that the strength of schedule is almost a blessing with RPI, because we just saw last year when we were in that tough stretch, me and you just kept thinking like, okay, this is the loss that knocked us out the tournament. And then we would read from an article saying, no, Auburn barely dropped in the RPI, barely dropped in the power a day. And you're just thinking, well, okay. So strength of schedule really, really matters. So it's just, you get a couple of these wins, you're going to be good to go.
Yes.
Those are like the ones you mentioned. Those are the ones where, yeah, you should take these. I mean, you should beat like South Carolina at home. You're going to have to lose that game to be a disaster. There's games on here where LSU at home, what are they going to be? You should handle that. What is Ole Miss at home? I mean, let's look at the home real quick. I would say the toss-up would be Alabama, just based off what we saw last year. Yep. Kentucky and A&M because of Buzz and him just having Bruce's number like that. But even then, I say you'll be favored in all of those most likely. You've lost one home game in 2 years. You'll be favored in all of those.
You should beat Vandy. You should beat South Carolina. You should beat Mississippi State. You should beat Ole Miss. You should beat LSU. Georgia.
It's tricky, but you should beat them.
You should beat them at home. All right. So that's 6 dubs at home. Honestly, with what we brought in, I think you should beat Alabama at home. I do. With what they lost, JQ enters the transfer portal. I think we will be favored at home. Now, going on the road, that's a different story. But I look at that. Alabama, I'm going to give a dub. Georgia, a dub. Kentucky, that's a toss-up. You know they're recruiting and everything, even though they lost Sheboy. I like LSU as a dub. Ole Miss 4, Mississippi State 5, South Carolina 6, Vandy 7, Texas A&M question mark because, like you said, we know what Buzz. Yeah, I mean they come into Auburn last year and absolutely throttled our ass. I mean, but they did shoot like 40 freaking free throws too. So that game was super sketch, man.
That was one of the. There was a lot of sketchy ones, and that one was probably the sketchiest.
Yeah. You know, I look at the only home, Dustin, and LSU, South Carolina. Yeah, I mean that you really can't ask for a better schedule, in my opinion.
Yeah, it looks.
I think this schedule favors Auburn. Yeah, and what I was getting to right there is it only home, and you don't have to go to Rupp Arena. Like that's huge. We know the struggles that Auburn's had at Rupp, right? Yeah. And what last year, I mean, it was turn it off with what 14, 15, 16 minutes left to play.
Yeah,
in the second half.
Yeah, Bruce said before the game, if we don't show effort on the boards, we're going to get smashed by 40 points.
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't come out and put a lick of effort on the boards, and we got smashed by 40 points.
And
that
then
was frustrating.
Like you said, not having to go to A&M, that's huge. I mean, I really, really like this schedule and the way it sets up for Auburn, man. I mean, your home and homes. I look, and Alabama is really the only daunting place that I'm like, damn, we got to go to Alabama, you know?
No, I think Arkansas is going to be a tough one. They
Yeah.
loved it up this year, man. And
Yeah.
It's fun to make fun of Eric Musselman, but the proof's in the pudding. Their Sweet 16 is their freaking floor right now. It's the Sweet 16.
Yeah. Yeah, on the road at Arkansas for sure, tough. But man, and Tennessee, I can't leave Tennessee out of there. But just having, you go to Georgia, to Ole Miss.
Yeah, Georgia is tough too, just because it's at Georgia. It just always is what it is. We're playing Georgia in the sport.
And what happened last year? We got waxed at Georgia. The year before, barely won with Wendell. So yeah, at Georgia. Oh man, the more you look at it, the more it kind of.
I'm telling you, I think the road's tough draw. But here's the thing: with how easy the home is, you can split these roads. So let's go through it. Let's say Alabama, you most likely won't be favored in. Arkansas, you won't be favored in. Florida, you will be favored in.
Yeah.
But again, for whatever, you got a curse going on that at some point you're going to have to break. At Georgia's tricky.
I think we get it. I think we get the win at Florida.
It's not going to go on forever.
Yeah.
It's not going to go on forever. And that one doesn't make sense. Like losing in Baton Rouge for 20 years in football, that made sense. Losing at Florida for this long, that doesn't make any sense. It's got to fall, right? It's got to fall.
Yeah.
At Georgia's tricky, but you should win. Ole Miss, you should win. At Mississippi State, tricky because the Hump's a tough place, but you should win. At Mizzou's tricky. At Tennessee's tricky. Just split those, bro. Split those. Handle your home games. Split those, and you're sitting pretty, man. You're sitting pretty. If the goal is to get a top 4 seed, I think you're going to be in there because we look at these and we say these games are tough, but I think we're going to be a damn good team. I think that when other people look at their schedule and they see Auburn, they're going, oh boy. Like I think we're going to be at least just roster wise. And this is going to be the interesting thing about college basketball now, especially what appears to be Bruce's philosophy going forward. It's really about how these guys mesh together. In the transfer portal era, it's going to be about how these guys mesh together. So it looks good on paper right now. How do they mesh together? If all these guys mesh together, I think we're going to be one of the most talented teams. Just off the top of my head, I could only really say Arkansas and maybe Kentucky would be more talented. I think we're in that second tier coming into the season with Tennessee and A&M. So I think that getting a first round bye in the SEC tournament, being a top 4 seed is entirely possible. And even if you don't get it and you finish off somewhere in the 5th or 6th with the schedule, man, you're going to be so high up in the RPI. I think you have another 20-win season at minimum. I'd have to see. It's going to be important to see the dates, see kind of what fits where, because that's important. That's important, and to see the full non-conference schedule laid out and how all that. So we can't really predict too much as far as what the season, like a win total, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But definitely, man, another 20-win season coming. We're super talented. We're tough out for all these teams too, and if you lose a close game at Tennessee, if you go on the road and you lose 72-67 at Arkansas, what have we learned? You won't be punished that much for that anymore.
Yeah.
And then if you do win it, boy,
you're in.
You win a couple of those tough road games, a couple of them, and then handle the ones you should handle at home. You're sitting pretty, dude. You're sitting pretty.
If you just say Alabama, at Arkansas, at Tennessee, all right. Say you win 1, maybe 2.
Yeah.
All right. Say you go 2-1 out of those 3. Oh, you're cooking. You're cooking. Even if you get 1, even if you go to Tennessee, you're still, or you go to Arkansas, you're still cooking, man. Bud Walton, woo, I want revenge there so bad after the
It would be
little light
sweet,
show.
man.
Yeah.
It would be sweet.
But Dustin, wrapping this thing up, talking Auburn basketball, man. I think it's been a hell of an episode. There's been some growth on the channel today. We want to really appreciate and show you guys the love for subbing to the YouTube channel, and we appreciate you for watching and listening each and every episode. Me and Dustin talk about it each and every day. We're just so thankful for the love and support. I made a tweet earlier today and said, hey, we're close to, we've got 300 and something subs, and we're close to 350, trying to get to 400. And I mean, the likes and the retweets started popping, and I mean, we're making it. And like always, I give my props to Dustin for all the hard work he does, and he's just on top of his game, and we're slowly building this thing, Dustin.
Yeah, I'm excited, man. I'm excited for the future. I think these next couple episodes are going to be fire, and there's a lot of stuff coming down the pipeline away from the podcast that we're really excited to be involved in. Just a lot of really good content coming, man. We've been teasing at it for a couple weeks. It is coming very, very soon. Be on the lookout this weekend for a big time announcement that we're just really fired up for. And like Blake said, man, just thank you to everybody that shows us the love. It's fun, it's just fun to get on here and talk about Auburn sports, and it means the world to us that you take us seriously. And if you're out there in that Alabama heat this week, man, stay safe. It ain't no joke, bro. It ain't no joke.
It's rough. It is rough, Dustin. But yeah, man, we really appreciate each and every one of you. If you could go over to Apple Podcast, rate us 5 stars if you don't mind. Leave a comment down there and let us know what you love about the show. We would greatly appreciate that. Go over to Spotify, rate us 5 stars if you don't mind there. And we're just so thankful. Like I said earlier, we just really appreciate y'all. From the bottom of our hearts, man. It means a lot. But with that being said, we will catch you on the next one. We're out. We're going to leave you with a War Damn Eagle, and we will see y'all soon.
War down.